Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Summer 2014 FCPS Retirement Ceremony. Woohoo! I'm Phyllis Pajardo, the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and it's a pleasure to be here tonight to honor our retirees. Tonight, we get a glimpse at the incredible talent and memorable moments of our retirees. But first, let me give you a few stats about tonight's event. We have 162 people being honored here tonight, and they're right in front of me. We have about 500 family members, friends, colleagues who came to celebrate our 162 retirees. Tonight's retirees represent an astounding 3,798 combined years of service to FCPS. A lot of hours. Thank you so much for your service to us. Tonight is even more special because we also are celebrating the retirement of 4 couples. Wow. To work for FCPS and stay married? Wow. That is an accomplishment. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce some special guests who are here with us tonight. First, we have several members of our school board who will be congratulating our retirees tonight. I would like to ask each board member to stand as I call your name. Sandy Evans, school board member, Mason District. Pat Hines, Hunter Mill District. Ryan McElveen, member at large. Il Young Moon, school board chair, member at large. Patty Reed, Providence. Kathy Smith, Sully. Dan Stork, Mount Vernon. Jane Strauss, Drainsville. And Ted Velkoff, member at large. Thank you, board members, for being here tonight. Additionally, we have several members of the FCPS leadership team, and as I call their name, they'll also stand and be recognized. John Foster, Division Counsel. I actually should have started with our Superintendent of Schools, Karen Garza. She'll be celebrating along with everyone else a little bit later tonight. Dan Paris, our Deputy Superintendent, Interim Deputy Superintendent. Continuing on with several of our Assistant Superintendents, Barbara Hunter, Assistant Superintendent, Communication and Community Outreach. Jim Caker, Cluster 2. Mary Beth Luftglass, Information Technology. Jeff Plattenberg, Facilities and Transportation Services. Susan Quinn, Financial Services. And Marty Smith, Cluster 1 Assistant Superintendent. Thank you all for being here as well. And several of them are going to be reading tonight, so they have a reading assignment that they're working on right now. Next, can those folks who are our friends, family members, principals, or supervisors of our retirees, please stand and be recognized. Friends, family members, principals, supervisors. On behalf of the retirees, we thank you so much for the support that you have given our employees as they gave their time, their talent, and their energy for the children and staff for Fairfax County Schools. We know that that is a big deal for you to come out and celebrate them, and we're really glad that you're here tonight. A few other special people I'd like to recognize this evening. John Banbury, I don't know if he is here. He is the proud principal of Oakton High School, and we appreciate John and his staff for extending their hospitality to us. This is our first time being in Oakton in a few years, so we thank them for their support. We want to also thank the FCPS Food Services team who put together that great reception. Wasn't it tasty? Additionally, you heard music provided by Keith Owens and the Jazz Guitar Combo from West Springfield High School. We are so fortunate that they provide the entertainment for our events. And finally, I'd like to thank the Retirement Committee and the volunteers who were outside greeting you, helping you get your corsages and boutonnieres pinned on. They work really hard to make this event special for you. I just want to thank each of them for their effort. When you put on programs like this, it takes a lot of effort. A lot of things are happening behind the scenes. In front of us, we've got our IT folks, and these folks do it from the heart. They want to make this event very special for you. So I'm very proud of all of them and everything that they've done. There's a saying that I really like, which is bloom where you're planted. Whether your career had you as a bus driver, a custodian, an instructional assistant, administrator, any instructional or support staff, each of our 162 retirees have bloomed where you're planted, and we are so very grateful for your service to FCPS. Thank you. All of you have made a difference in the lives of children. You are a part of the fabric of FCPS. You will always be a member of the Fairfax family, not just for your work, the work that you've accomplished, but for the legacy that you're leaving. And just to remind you of this legacy, you're going to receive a check every month. Has Fairfax County Schools on it, so you will remember us. Remember, you're a part of the fabric. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, who is finishing her first year, Dr. Karen Garza. Come on up, Dr. Garza.
Thank you, Phyllis. Good evening. This is an impressive group. Does it feel good? You know, one of these days we'll get one of those nice boutonnieres too. One of these days. Well, good evening and welcome to FCPS Summer Retirement Ceremony. This evening is a celebration of you, and it's really special. I noted that many of you have been working in FCPS for over 20 years. In fact, I couldn't help but notice, I'm sure some of you looked at the last page. Is Wanda Bird here tonight? 53 years. 53 years. That is, of course, we're going to call you all up tonight, and we're going to celebrate each and every one of you, but I just had to I thought, wow, how impressive to be that dedicated to the work that we do for 53 years. So if any of you know Wanda, please extend to her our congratulations and deepest appreciation. I know that during this very special time in your life, you can't help but to reflect back to those first years in education. Do y'all remember? Have y'all thought about those a little bit? Okay, well, you prompted. There's Teddy Paderis in the middle. Hi, Teddy. We were at a retirement celebration for Teddy yesterday. So, Teddy, have you thought about those first years? Okay. I remember some of my first years. Do you remember those mimeograph machines? And remember we had to crank them? The young people today don't even know what we're talking about when we say that. And they were purple. And they had this funny smell. And they were actually wet for a while. Y'all remember that? And then we'd have purple ink all over our fingers for days. I remember it so well. We actually, back in those days, had chalkboards and chalk. Do we even have chalk in our schools anymore? And we would have chalk dust all over us, remember? And we'd have those erasers that we'd have to clean. That's old school. There were no computers, no cell phones, no electronic tablets or electronic readers. We didn't have email. Now we're surrounded by smart boards and laptops and iPads and smartphones, and we're inundated, right, with email. And now we're able to use those tools to great advantage, just like we were able to send weekly updates to parents electronically. So those tools have been very helpful. But you know, the more things change, the more they really stay the same. No matter how technology changes or as our tools have changed over time, one thing has never changed, and that is our children, our students that we serve. And aren't they tremendous and great? I'm always impressed when I'm around our students, and this time of year at graduations, it's just so thrilling to be around our students and have them talk about all their wonderful years in FCPS. But we do open our doors every day to the smiling faces of children filled with excitement and curiosity. And while we look forward to each of those new innovations, our primary goal has always been with you helping us do that, and will continue to be from the people that you are standing on your shoulders today to build a bright future for all of the children throughout our county. I have been here, as was pointed out earlier. Next week, Mr. Moon, is my 1-year anniversary. 1 year, and I've learned a lot, and I continue to have a lot to learn. But it was very quickly apparent to me about why FCPS is so special, and that is because of the employees all throughout our organization. You are what makes FCPS very special. Thank you. FCPS is great because of the people who are the FCPS family. And yes, you will always be considered part of our family, and yes, you will receive those checks that have FCPS on it. You are the reason that FCPS is a great place to work, and more importantly, a great place to learn for our students. I thank you for your many contributions to FCPS and your years of dedication and service to our students. We are very grateful for you. I wish each and every one of you the best in your very well-deserved retirement. Dan Paris, a year ago, told me he was going to retire, and I told him that was unacceptable. That he needed to wait a year and hang around a little bit. And Aaron, thankfully, allowed him to do that, because I really know that Aaron was the one that said yes, right? Yeah, right. He said, I'll have to go home and check with Aaron first. And I saw, there you are right there. And so I thank you for sharing him with us for another year. And Dan today's his last day. And he has, over the last week, had this kind of skip in his step and a big smile on his face. Have you had that too? Okay. And Dan, I heard someone say about retirement recently, and I think it's apropos since you mentioned the checks earlier, Dr. Pajardo, is goodbye tension, hello pension. Right? What do you think about that, Dan? Goodbye tension, hello. Again, just sincerely, much congratulations and thanks for all that you've done for FCPS and for continuing to support us, because we need your support as we continue this very important work in serving children. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the chairman of the Fairfax County School Board, Mr. Ilyan Moon. Thank you.
You wake up in the morning and look outside, a beautiful day. You want a cup of tea with a newspaper to read, but realize the front yard is watering. On the way to the front yard, you notice a bike that has tires deflated, and you want to inflate them first so that your grandkids can ride when they visit in the weekend. On the way to find an air pump in the garage, you realize that you have not put out your old clothes for a pickup by the Purple Heart. So you grab the bags of clothes in the garage, and then you realize you are still in your bathrobe, which really could go to Purple Heart too. So you are about to take it up, but see that the garage door is open for all the neighbors to see. You immediately run back into the house. On your way back to the bedroom, you see that the cat is trying hard to lick a drink from an empty bowl. So you want to get some water from the kitchen to put into the bowl. On your way to the kitchen, you see The Simpsons is on. It is the episode that you missed the other night. So you just have to watch it. And on the way to family room to watch it, you suddenly realize that water in the teapot is boiling. Yes, now you drink tea. You put a bag into the steep and notice ants are back, so you reach under the sink for the bag of ant traps you bought yesterday. They aren't there. Where did you put them? Luckily, your head comes back up to the counter level, and you realize that you put the tea bag in the cup, but not the water. Back toward the stairs to get dressed. But on the stairs are your running shoes. Are they going up to the closet or out to the garage? You take them out to the garage to put in the Purple Heart bags. But remember the neighbors and your state of undress. So you go upstairs to get dressed. But the bed is unmade, so you might as well do your back stretching exercises while the sheets are rumpled. Instead, you want to fall asleep since you are already exhausted. It has already been a long day. Even though the front yard has not been watered, you have not had your cup of tea or read newspaper, have not put out old clothes for pickup or inflated bike tires, you did not get to watch the missed episode of The Simpsons, and you have not given the cat any water to drink. But who cares? You are retired. And good evening. On behalf of the school board, I want to welcome you to our annual retirement ceremony. I'm truly happy and excited for you. The school board recognizes that you deserve this moment and all the good stuff that follows. But it is hard for us to say farewell to our fellow FCPS employees. It feels like a member of the family is moving away. The real purpose for tonight is to thank you for your years of service and dedication to the children of Fairfax County. To let you know that your role in this gigantic, intricate school system is valued, acknowledged, and remembered. You have given countless hours, shared innumerable good thoughts, brainstormed with the best, and presented a professionalism of which you can be proud. This is undoubtedly a better school system for your time, effort, and devotion. It is my great pleasure to honor you tonight and to thank you for all of your contributions over the years. I hope the next chapter in your life is exciting, entertaining, and productive. Stay healthy, do the fun stuff, write your memoirs, and stay in touch. Above all, sleep late. You know, the money is no better in retirement, but the hours are great. We wish you didn't have to go, but good luck. And thanks to each of you.
What a great story, that Mr. Moon. And Dr. Garza, thank you for those comments as well. We really appreciate both of you being here tonight and the comments that you've made to our retirees. Remember, our retirees, 162, 3,700. Come on, we just went over this a few hours, it wasn't even an hour ago. 89, 98, let's see, 3,789 hours of combined service. So let's talk about what's going to happen for the next little bit of our time together. At this point, I'd like to ask Dr. Garza to come on up, and Deputy Superintendent, Interim Superintendent, soon to be retired, Dan Paris, to come take their places. Ask the school board members to come to the front to form a receiving line. Come on up, board members. While everyone is taking their places, let me explain this evening's proceedings. Each retiree will come up to receive an award when their name is called. Retirees will then have their photo taken with the superintendent, followed by congratulations from the school board. A certificate is given for those of you who have worked 9 years or fewer with FCPS. A plaque is given to those who have worked 10 to 24 years in FCPS. And we have an engraved rosewood box for those of you that have worked 25 or more years. Now, just to make sure that we have a good model of how this is done, we're going to start with Dan Paris, and he's going to model the way. Okay, Dan. So, Dan, do we have our little gift for Dan, friends?
I think I got it last year.
You got it last year. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about Dan. Oh, we're going to give Dan another box. Dan Paris, 31 years. Absolutely. Throughout his career, Dan has energetically represented the interests of students, teachers, schools, and communities. A man of uncompromising integrity, he has served FCPS as a teacher, assistant principal, director of student services, and more. Principal, assistant superintendent, and most recently, our interim deputy superintendent. In every leadership position, he challenged staff to embrace data rather than fear it. And he worked very hard to build strong, systematic relationships. By championing continuous improvement of programs and services, Dan has significantly improved our quality of education. Through it all, Dan always remembers that this is a human business where people and family come first. Dan Paris, 31 years. I think he's done that pretty well, okay? So we're going to follow along suit. We have Jeff Plattenberg, who's going to be our first reader tonight for profiles, Assistant Superintendent for Facilities and Transportation Services. Jeff, are you over there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and our first retiree is Barbara Moss, 5 years.
After teaching in Maryland for 30 years, Barbara married a Virginian and moved to Falls Church. She landed her dream job in a new FCPS school as the school-based technology specialist. Barbara says, "It was the best job ever. Thanks for the memories."
Pat Horgan, 7 years.
Pat came from Florida to FCPS in 2006. She taught special education at Marshall Road, Lake Ann, and McNair, and served as the local screening chair. Pat's 30-year teaching career took her to 4 states. Wherever she went, she wanted to help students become the best that they could be. Thank you, Pat.
Also with 7 years of service, Carolyn Cooler.
Carolyn has fulfilled her career goal of elementary school librarian. She was convinced that working with children would keep her young. Several years and many gray hairs later, she still believes children provide hope for the future. She will never forget all the students who said, "Mrs. Culler, I love to read."
Also with 7 years, Linda Moran.
Linda started teaching after college, then worked at the National Park Service, WETA, and trade associations. Recently, she worked with special education students at Jeb Stuart. She loves helping students discover talents and celebrate accomplishments. While she enjoyed many careers, none brought as much happiness as teaching.
Moving to 8 years, Carlos Kamyawa. Yes, thank you.
Carlos was a wonderful asset to the Lake Ann Elementary community. He worked hard and lived up to the expression, "Service with a smile." The teachers and staff will miss him greatly, especially his humor and positive attitude. His school wishes him well in retirement.
Also 8 years, Ann Copenhaver.
Ann came to Park Lawn Elementary after 23 years directing chorus and orchestra in Shenandoah County. Her Park Lawn memories are captured most especially by these quotes from her principal. Your role as a specialist is like a diamond with many facets that extend well beyond your required work. From a first grade student, I love you, music teacher.
Cute. Also with 8 years, Babs Jackson.
Babs has worked as an FCPS speech therapist on 3 occasions since 1993. After many overseas adventures with her Foreign Service officer husband, she rejoined her incredibly supportive, caring, and knowledgeable colleagues at FCPS. She says it's been a marvelous ride.
Maxine Smith, 8 years.
Maxine would like to share this letter from a colleague. I could not let you retire without thanking you for your untiring support. When I was assigned to teach ESOL special education, you rushed to my aid and helped me get on my feet. My students' success could not have happened without your unwavering support, kindness, and superb knowledge.
Nine years of service, Janet Epstein.
After a career counseling adults with mental illness, Janet decided to devote her skills to working with young students with special needs. She found her niche and her family at Springfield Estates Elementary. Now that Janet's children are grown, retiring will afford her an opportunity to seek her next adventure in life. Congratulations.
Also with 9 years, Sharon Zaloom.
Sharon became an ESOL teacher after a midlife career switch and has loved every minute of it. Students from around the globe enjoyed her warm, engaging style. What she will miss most is when former students came back to visit, speaking fluent English and saying how much they miss her class.
10 years of service, Gary Lippens.
After 30 years in government service, Gary returned to his early career, teaching. He taught math at Bryant Alternative High for 10 years and is now retiring for a second time. His most cherished moments are when he runs into former students whose lives were transformed by attending Bryant.
11 years, Sheila Stone.
Sheila moved here from California after college, but life took her away several times. She finished her career teaching reading at Mount Eagle and ESOL at Fort Belvoir. She says, to hear a student begin to read is akin to watching your child ride a bike. You never know where their journey will end, but you helped it begin.
12 years of service, Ama Apia.
Ama was a valued member of the custodial staff at Centerville High. Her bright smile was contagious, and she always lightened the mood. She took pride in her job, knowing the foundation of a quality education is a clean, safe school environment. We wish her the best in retirement.
Also with 12 years, Rena Cuesta.
Rena has grown from a quiet first-year bus driver to a seasoned one. She was a valued member of the Edison High team who was respected by coworkers and students alike. Always willing to pitch in and help, she regularly did extra runs and answered phones. Her smiling face will be missed.
13 years, Debo Burke.
Debo enjoyed a varied career with FCPS at Falls Church High. She taught students with physical disabilities and special education, world history, and government. Debo has been, and will continue to be, an advocate for students who learn differently or are otherwise disadvantaged. Go Jaguars.
Also with 13 years, Carol Burns.
Carol has worked for Virginia Public Schools for 36 years, 23 in Prince William and 13 in Fairfax. She believes her career choice was ideal for her personality. She enjoyed a variety of positions, including elementary teacher, research supervisor, and assistant principal. She thanks FCPS for many, many wonderful experiences.
Also with 13 years, Jeanette Johnson.
Memorable quotes heard during Jeanette's career as an elementary art teacher. Miss Johnson, you have a great job. You get to play with kids all day. Miss Johnson, smell me. Smell my hands. This paint smells. Jeanette is grateful to the state for providing her with the education and employment in the arts for the past 30 years.
Tracy Nelson, 13 years.
37 years ago, Tracy's teaching career began at Wyoming Indian Reservation. As a military wife, she taught in 9 states. Tracy values her students' successes and the life lessons she learned. She cherishes her Crossfield Elementary memories of creating a butterfly house and painting murals on the walls. Now she's off to bigger adventures.
With 14 years, Frank Curran.
Frank came to facilities management from food services. He wanted to get out of Alaska. Well, that is the deep frozen coolers. He assumed the position of field custodian, which required him to work in a different school every day. He was promoted to flooring maintenance technician, taking the endless demands in stride and doing everything asked of him and more.
Vivian Hackett, 14 years.
Arriving from the windy city of Chicago, Vivian and her husband settled in Maryland and then moved to Virginia. They have lived in Fairfax County for many years. Vivian says she enjoyed her time in FCPS and at Silverbrook Elementary, working with the students and the staff members.
Thanks, Jeff, for that reading. And we are going to go now to our second reader of the evening, Mary Beth Loveglass, Instructional Information Technology. I see Mary Beth over there. She is ready. And Tom Ragland, 14 years. Come on up.
Tom's second career was serving as an FCPS bus driver. He only wishes he had started sooner. Tom enjoyed driving that big yellow bus filled with special education students to and from school every day. He will miss the smiles and the daily greetings from his students. Congratulations.
Moving to 15 years, Bonnie Carecha.
Bonnie fulfilled her dream of sharing her native language and culture by serving as a Spanish immersion teacher at Ravensworth Elementary and then with the FLES programs at Willow Springs and Pine Springs Elementary Schools. Now, Bonnie is a PhD candidate at George Mason University, completing her dissertation on assessment practices in the FLES classroom.
That doesn't really sound like retirement, does it? That's good for you, Bonnie. All right, you go, girl. All righty, also with 15 years, Chris Golden.
Since 1973, Chris has taught deaf and hard of hearing students in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and FCPS. She worked in residential and public schools, oral and signing programs from preschoolers to young adults in career centers. Chris feels incredibly fortunate to have worked with so many students and talented professionals. Congratulations.
16 years, Raquel Alcaraz Figueroa.
Raquel came from the Caribbean to FCPS to begin her educational journey to discover future writers, diplomats, and scientists. She started as a substitute teacher and many experiences later ends the journey as an elementary assistant principal. Raquel says, never underestimate how important it can be to collect rocks with a child during recess. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Mike Clare, 16 years.
Mike began teaching at Mount Vernon Alternative High School. One of his highlights was helping to secure accreditation for the school. He greatly enjoyed helping students understand the importance of making good choices throughout their lives. Mike eventually transferred to Robinson Secondary, where he was privileged to work with a superb group of chemistry teachers. Congratulations.
Got several 16-year folks here, retirees. Congratulations. Annette Miles.
Annette began teaching in FCPS as a work awareness and transition teacher at Mount Vernon High School. The school's finance assistant handed her an Office Depot catalog. She says, I was confused. Surely she doesn't expect me to pay for my supplies. She gingerly approached the finance assistant who told Annette, "Baby, it's all right. You are home now. Welcome to FCPS." Congratulations.
And now Rose, 16 years.
Peace Corps volunteers who make things grow were in high demand in Afghanistan in the 1970s. However, Anne had a not-so-green thumb, so she got to teach. Anne became an ESOL teacher by chance. Years later, when her own children were grown, she returned to the classroom. That decision proved to be the toughest job she ever loved. Congratulations.
Nancy Romeo, 16 years.
Nancy worked for Food and Nutrition Services as the cafeteria manager at Cooper Middle School. She was very dedicated and was always looking for ways to make her cafeteria a special place for students. She loved her job and will be missed by everyone at Cooper. We wish her a well-earned and wonderful retirement. Congratulations.
Marie Chaplin, 16 years.
Marie is a dedicated, respected, and compassionate educator and student advocate. Students thrive under her energetic and imaginative teaching style and high expectations. Edison wishes her the same success and happiness in retirement that she enjoyed in her teaching career. She will be missed. Congratulations.
Deborah Witt, 16 years.
During his time at Centerville High School, Jose watched the... Oh, this is not a person. Next.
This is
Sorry,
Deborah Witt.
Deborah. Now we're on to Deborah. You don't look like it. Okay, now she looks like a Deborah. All right. After 5 years of teaching in Washington State, Deborah moved to Northern Virginia in 1998. She worked at Lynbrook Elementary School, Springfield Estates Advanced Academic Program Center, and Braddock Elementary as a math resource specialist. She will cherish fond memories of students, parents, and colleagues. Congratulations, Deborah.
17 years, Wasante Alcee.
Wasanti taught life science for 27 years, 17 of them in 2 FCPS schools. Lanier Middle School students rewarded her with comments such as, "You made science so easy for me to understand. Can I please have you to teach me next year too? Genetics is my favorite science now since you drilled it into my brain." Congratulations.
Also with 17 years, Ron Giovanucci.
A few years ago, Ron, a teacher at West Potomac High School, started a new course called Law Enforcement Careers. Due to its popularity, the course was expanded to several other high schools in FCPS and renamed Criminal Justice. Thanks to Ron, many students are now working as local and federal law enforcement officers, probation officers, and attorneys. Congratulations.
Francis Gennaro, 17 years.
Frances began working in special education in 1974. Her husband's military career provided opportunities to teach in numerous school districts before coming to FCPS. An educational specialist in school psychology, she has published original research on measuring adaptive behavior, was a Teacher of the Year nominee, and earned an ARC award. Congratulations.
Sheila McConaughey, 17 years.
Sheila is a beloved teacher who clearly made a difference in the lives of all the McConaughey kids that passed through her classroom. Former students describe her as a teacher who genuinely cared about them. She spent countless hours developing appealing, individualized lessons. Her students' success is truly the benchmark of measuring her own success. Congratulations.
Janice Moan, 17 years.
For the past 17 years, it has been Janice's pleasure to serve as the registrar and student information assistant at Little Run Elementary School. She was a dedicated member of the Little Run family whose presence will be missed. Congratulations on your retirement, Janice.
Richard Reichert, 17 years.
When Richard retired from IBM, he started a second career as an FCPS electrician. 2 days before he was to start his new job, he suffered a heart attack. After his son explained the situation, FCPS agreed to hold the position until Richard could start work. For the past 11 years, he has worked through the night into the early mornings inspecting projects for energy management. Congratulations.
Moving up to 18 years, Phoebe Armstrong.
For Phoebe, 18 years have gone by more quickly than she could have imagined. She worked as a special and general education teacher at Bonnie Bray, Wakefield Forest, Louise Archer, and Fair Hill elementary schools. She says her greatest gift has been her colleagues. They provided her with laughter and encouragement as she worked to meet the challenges of being a valuable teacher. Congratulations.
Also 18 years, Della Brown.
After 12 years of working overseas, Della and her family returned to Fairfax County in 1996. She has taught elementary strings in 9 FCPS schools, including the last 3 years at McNair and Churchill Road. She says this is her biggest year yet. She has a total of 435 string students, which has been a wonderful, exciting, and busy way to finish her career. It has been a blast.
Tracy Coronis, 18 years.
Tracy's journey with FCPS began as a substitute teacher at Saratoga's Emotional Disabilities Program. This led to her career as a special education teacher, homebound instructor, new teacher mentor, resource specialist, and local screening chair at Holland Meadows Elementary School. Working with special needs students has been an honor and a privilege. Congratulations.
19 years, Sheila Avery.
As a counselor, Sheila developed programs to support students' career, personal, social, and academic development. A mentor, friend, and team player, she spent many evenings making calls to parents and teachers. On weekends, she cheered her students on in their outside activities. Sheila's dedication to the Keene Mill community will be missed. Congratulations.
Cheryl Bear, 19 years.
Cheryl started as a speech-language pathologist at Mosby Wilds Elementary School when the Little neighborhood school's population was 425. While there, she worked with great students, supportive families, fabulous administrators, and the best staff members anywhere. That Little school now has a population of 994, but to Cheryl, it will always be home. Congratulations.
"19 years, Betsy Byler.
Betsy came to teaching as a third career. She is grateful to have been hired by FCPS to teach ESOL. In the 19 years, she's never looked back. A friend said this of Betsy: she seems to so easily remember that in a caterpillar there lived beautiful possibilities. Congratulations on your retirement, Betsy.
Also with 19 years, Harriet Dershowitz.
In 1985, as a busy mother of 4, Harriet made a fatal mistake. She failed to attend an important PTA meeting. So, as the newly elected PTA president, she began her 29-year association with FCPS. For 16 of those years, she worked with the dedicated, hardworking teachers and staff at her neighborhood school, Jeb Stewart. It is a place she will always miss. Congratulations.
Kathy Fenton, 19 years.
Having dabbled in many special education areas, Kathy found her true love teaching students with intellectual disabilities. During her time at Fairfax Villa Elementary School, she developed close bonds with many unique students and their families that will last a lifetime. Kathy says it has been a privilege to work with so many wonderful children who will remain in her heart forever. Congratulations.
Gloria Lee, 19 years.
Gloria shares this note from a colleague. When I started at Flores Elementary, I was lucky to be paired with Gloria Lee. She showed me the ropes in her own quiet way. She's a team player who keeps students' needs foremost in her mind. I joke that I'll contest her retirement, but I know she wants time for other interests. Gloria can retire knowing she impacted the lives of many students and teachers. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Loveglass. And we now have our third reader for the evening, Barbara Hunter. Come on over. Great. And this is our first of our 4 couples. We have Juan Perez with 16 years and his wife, Rosie Perez, with 19 years. Congratulations.
Juan started at FCPS as a bus attendant and later served as a personal health training assistant at South Lakes High School. He enjoyed working with special needs students. Juan gave his all every day and in return earned the love and respect of students and coworkers. Rosie began her FCPS career as a custodian at Terracette Elementary. Always looking to advance, she quickly moved up to assisting building supervisor at Cub Run and then building supervisor at Oak Hill. Rosie thanks FCPS for all the opportunities to grow and succeed. Congratulations.
Now we're in the 20s, 21 years, Grace Brown.
Grace taught English at Jeb Stuart High School for 21 years. She was nominated and included in 3 publications of Who's Who among high school teachers, served as the MYP coordinator and team leader, and was a Stuart Teacher of the Year nominee. She's the proud mother of 2 and grandmother of 5. Congratulations.
Also with 21 years, Alwyn Burke.
Alwyn taught family and consumer sciences. Longfellow Middle was her teaching home for the last 15 years. One of her joys was teaching quilting. Her students have donated 60+ handmade quilts to foster care, alternative house, and women's shelters. Now that she's retiring, she's looking forward to spending more time with her family, especially her 8 grandchildren. Congratulations.
That sounds like a busy retirement with 8 grandchildren. Now, 21 years as well, Joyce Mary Moses.
Joyce Mary's final teaching experience was much different than her first. Just out of college, she was a Peace Corps volunteer living in a hut in the Philippines. In between then and now, she taught in Chicago, California, and Kansas City. She treasures her years in Fairfax, where she taught at Herndon, Hughes, Thoreau, and Bryant Alternative School. She will never forget her students and colleagues. Congratulations.
Also with 21 years, Anna Patton.
Anna was an instructional assistant at Lake Braddock Secondary School, whose specialty was helping students with emotional disabilities. She could sense when a disruption was about to occur and would use her special talents to make students comfortable, listen carefully to their concerns, and help them refocus. Anna and her husband are very excited to retire to Las Vegas. Congratulations.
We do have their forwarding address if anyone wants to visit Vegas. Just kidding. 23 years of service, Judy Blaywise. Good to see you. Congratulations.
Judy was a teacher in Arizona before coming to FCPS. As a classroom teacher and instructional assistant, she worked hard to make a difference in the world. Her energetic students and dedicated colleagues at both Forestville and Londontown elementary schools made for the best experience and a very memorable career. Congratulations.
Also with 23 years, Susan Clark.
Susan has spent her career in food services, with the last 3 years being at Liberty Middle School. Susan always went the extra mile to complete her job. She loved working in the cafeteria, where she made students feel welcome all of the time. She was helpful, dependable, and friendly to all. Thank you for all of your work throughout the years, Susan, and congratulations.
Maria Keller, also with 23 years.
Maria began her career as a language transcriber for the Organization of American States. Her love of children brought her to FCPS as an instructional assistant. Before long, Maria knew the position suited her perfectly. She worked in 3 different schools, but her fondest memories are from her time at Ravensworth Elementary. Congratulations.
Joel or Jolie? Joelle, let me stand corrected there. Joelle Rudney, 23 years.
Dr. Rudney started her career as an English teacher in the French school system. Teaching ESOL and FCPS, she strived to transmit her passion for English to foreign students. She also taught French, her native language. Joelle reached out to students from ESOL to the IB program. She also ran the first environmental club in Annandale High, which is still flourishing. Congratulations.
Suzanne Slaughter, 23 years.
The Slaughter family came to Fairfax from Alabama. Suzanne spent her FCPS career teaching kindergarten, first and second grade at Fort Hunt Elementary. She is privileged to have taught hundreds of children and worked with many wonderful colleagues who have become great friends. In retirement, she plans to travel with her husband and spend more time with her family and friends. Congratulations.
"23 years of service, and my jazzercise partner, Patsy Toothman. Sorry, Patsy.
Patsy says while her job title is finance-based administrative assistant, she performs many other duties as assigned. You can find her attending to sick children, supporting new teachers, or helping new families navigate the intricacies of the school system. Patsy's kindness, quick wit, and work ethic made her an indispensable member of the Flores Elementary family. Congratulations.
Also with 23 years of service, Mamiya Warland.
Mamiya, as a Japanese immersion elementary school teacher, Mamiya taught hundreds of students and facilitated numerous cultural exchanges. She held leadership roles in professional associations and was named the National Council of Japanese Language Teachers 2007 Teacher of the Year. She says she'll always cherish the memories of her students in the classroom. Congratulations.
Constance Andrews, 24 years.
Constance had many jobs with FCPS. She started in the school cafeteria and transitioned to instructional assistant. After a move to Florida, she returned to the area and to FCPS. She worked as a clinic aide, office assistant, and eventually went back to her favorite position of instructional assistant. Constance has especially enjoyed the friends she has made during her time here. Congratulations.
Accepting tonight for her husband, George Cross, who suddenly became ill, is Loretta Cross. We celebrate George tonight with 24 years of service.
George has dedicated his career to taking care of school buildings as an assistant building supervisor and then building supervisor. In 1998, he was awarded the prestigious On Thank Award, which recognizes a county employee's accomplishments. George's fondest memories are of helping students. He particularly remembers a very special day he dressed up as a pirate for the kindergartners. Congratulations, George.
Bonnie David, 24 years.
Bonnie taught math to U.S. soldiers, GED diploma candidates, and children's in grades K-6. Her lasting memories include presenting a GED diploma to her mother, a parent commenting, "Mrs. David, you really made a difference in my children's lives," and a principal's commendation, "Your enthusiasm and love of teaching math to children and teachers is beautiful." Congratulations, Bonnie.
Pat Edwards, 24 years.
While enjoying a successful hotel career, Pat was recruited to teach hotel marketing. She was twice elected president of the Virginia Association of Marketing Educators and was honored as a Northern Area Teacher of the Year. She helped her students earn $95,000 in scholarships, win international DECA competitions, and get elected to national DECA leadership positions. Congratulations, Pat.
Also with 24 years, Suan Ford.
Suan dedicated 24 years to the service of children. She unselfishly took on any task just because it was the right thing to do. Suan's coworkers say that she has a strength of character and work ethic that is just remarkable. During her time in FCPS, she worked with so many who are so grateful for her gifts and talents. Suan is a woman of substance. Congratulations.
Also with 24 years, Teddy Paderas.
During her career, Teddy feels privileged to have served as an ESOL specialist, coordinator, and director. Currently, as director of the office that oversees world languages, Title I, and ESOL, she is honored to have had the opportunity to work with world-class teams to create and implement a wide variety of innovative programs. That's okay. She extends her deepest gratitude to her FCPS family. Congratulations, Teddy.
I always love when we have these personal connections with folks that have helped us develop to who we are, and this is someone that helped me as a new administrator, was a fantastic teacher, Robin Rubio. Come on down, 24 years.
Robin shares this letter from a parent. I am the mother of a 32-year-old JAG lawyer who, in your class, learned how to set goals and meet them. He learned that he was a writer. He learned that you can have fun learning history. He heard you read stories with the voice of the author. He also learned the value of an individual by observing how you treated each student. Congratulations, Robin.
Good. 24 years, Josie Stanmeyer.
Josie says it has been her honor to be the librarian at what she thinks is the best school in the county, Terracette Elementary. She's enjoyed a career surrounded by wonderful colleagues and amazing students and families. Her fellow librarians have been a source of support and inspiration that have sustained her throughout the years. She will always be grateful to each of them. Congratulations, Josie.
Lee Tran, 24 years.
In 1990, Lee began his custodial career with FCPS at McLean High School. 3 years later, he moved to Sleepy Hollow Elementary, and in 1995, he was promoted to building supervisor. In 2010, he transferred to Fairfax High School. Thank you, Lee, for all of your hard work for the students and staff members at your schools, and congratulations on your retirement.
Polino Velasquez, 24 years.
Paulino has served as a dedicated member of the Flores Elementary custodial staff. He worked tirelessly to ensure the school was always well maintained for staff and students. He was always smiling and went about his work with a positive attitude. Flores will miss him and wishes him a wonderful retirement. Now, finally, you'll have time to enjoy your family and friends in the audience.
25 years of service, Susan and Celine.
It was Susan's pleasure to serve as a primary classroom teacher and an early childhood education specialist. She epitomizes the essence of a teacher who realizes that the quality of instruction depends upon her ongoing journey as a learner. Her favorite comments from former students were that Mrs. Anseline made learning fun and always made sure we understood. Congratulations, Susan.
Kathy Bowen, 25 years.
Kathy spent 10 years at Shrevewood Elementary School teaching first and second grades, then went on to teach ESOL at Freedom Hill and Bonnie Bray. Most recently, she was lead ESOL teacher at Rolling Valley Elementary. She will treasure her memories of students and families from around the world and her friendships with colleagues. Congratulations, Kathy.
Leota Brown, 25 years.
After years of volunteering at her children's elementary schools, Leota decided to become an instructional assistant at Clearview Elementary. After 12 years of friends and family support, she received her Master's of Special Education. She completes her career as an ED-LD teacher at Armstrong Elementary, thankful to her many children and colleagues who touched her life. Congratulations, Leota.
Thank you, Ms. Hunter. Our next reader for the evening is Susan Quinn. Susan, come on over to the podium. We're still at 25 years of service. Joan Hanlon.
Joan has worked as a speech and language pathologist in Fairfax County for the past 25 years. Although she worked with students in all grade levels, most of those years were spent in middle schools. She feels fortunate to have worked with so many outstanding speech and language pathologists, educators, and students.
Lisa Jasper, 25 years.
Lisa cannot believe it's been 25 years since she started teaching health and PE in FCPS. She feels privileged to have touched so many lives in her 11 years at Kilmer Middle and 14 years at Sandburg Middle. At Sandburg, she got to walk by her old lockers every day because she went to school there when it was Fort Hunt High School. Go Federals!
Marietta Morris, 25 years.
During her 25 years of teaching elementary general music, Marietta has touched the lives of more than 12,000 students. She runs into former students everywhere: the store, the pool, the church, even Disney World. She recently even ran into a former student at a bus stop in Paris. Marietta has enjoyed the rock star status.
25 years as well, Halada Raja.
Halada has been an invaluable member of the Energy Zone team for 25 years. In 2005, she moved from Hayfield Secondary to South County Secondary. She is a superstar cashier who knows every student by name. An accomplished team player, she helps the food services team achieve success daily. She goes the extra mile to ensure her cafeteria is one of the best in the county.
Also with 25 years, Maria Ruggiero.
Maria has been a dedicated food service cashier at Jeb Stewart for her entire FCPS career. She was happy that she got to work at the school her children attended. She took great pride in her work and especially loved interacting with students and staff. During retirement, she is looking forward to spending time with her husband traveling. Congratulations.
Sue Wells, 25 years.
Sue had only lived in the U.S. for 5 years when she became an SIA at Timberlane Elementary in 1988, spending several hours a day in front of a dinosaur of an LSIS computer. After 13 years, she transferred to the GT office. Later, she spent 10 years at Pimmit Alternative Learning Center, where she found great reward in helping troubled students achieve. Congratulations.
26 years, Phyllis Coleman Lacey.
Phyllis loves teaching, learning, and leading. She was chair of the Visual Arts Department at Lake Braddock, where she spent most of her career developing innovative art-centered programs. She received the 2008 Art Educator of the Year for Secondary Education, from VAEA for her work in organizing conferences where teachers could share their ideas and lessons.
Also with 26 years, Wonky Kim.
Mr. Kim has worked at Centerville High School since 2005. He was a dedicated employee, an accomplished team player who was always willing to help out staff and community members alike. Constantly thinking of others, during his vacation each July, he would bring ice cream and watermelon to his coworkers to keep them cool while they worked. Congratulations.
Boy, that is really pretty cool, no pun intended. Pretty cool. Donna Lantini, 26 years.
Donna began her career as an itinerant teacher for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing program. On her leadership path, she moved from program manager for hearing and vision program to coordinator for related services to director of operations and strategic planning and special services. Congratulations. She has touched the lives of many in her years with FCPS. Congratulations, Donna.
Ethel Stevens, 26 years.
Ethel takes many wonderful memories with her. She will not forget the smiles. On the day she didn't know how she would get through, Ethel says when she saw the smiles of the little ones getting off the bus and coming down the hallway, it changed everything. She has impacted children's lives with her smile, her huge caring heart, and her strong belief in their potential. Congratulations.
Cindy Sweeter, 26 years.
Cindy's work has been child's play. She started learning to play in the FCPS Head Start program. She played a little more in preschool special education and finally entered kindergarten. During that time, she learned to share, take turns, play nicely with others, and how to be a good friend. Then she graduated and became an early childhood resource teacher with the FCPS Head Start program. Now it's time to go out and enjoy a long recess.
Also with 26 years of service, Pedro Trejo.
Pedro has had an exceptional career at FCPS. His can-do attitude and remarkable attention to detail positively impacted students and staff at Timberlane Elementary every day. His hard work and perfectionism has been recognized by community members, staff, and supervisors alike. His exemplary service has not gone unnoticed. We wish him all the best in retirement.
Next, we're honoring our second of 4 couples, Andrew Webb with 20 years of service, and his wife Pamela Hampton Webb with 26 years of service.
Both Andre and Pam have devoted their careers to helping those who could benefit the most from their talent and dedication. Andre was a teacher of the visually impaired who worked at Robinson Secondary and as an itinerant. His greatest joy was watching students complete tasks they once considered impossible. As a social worker, every day was unpredictable and exciting for Pam. She says helping students and parents while working collaboratively with colleagues was truly rewarding. Throughout the years, she enjoyed meeting former students who overcame obstacles and now live successful lives. Congratulations.
I'm going to take a little personal privilege here now and give you a little personal story of the next person that's coming up, Lori Barber, with 27 years of service. As a first-year teacher here in FCPS who had lived in the Tidewater area with beach and sand and warmth, I had no idea how to drive in the snow. Lori was my carpooler at Vienna Elementary School. I think she's from Wisconsin, Montana, so in the Midwest, who drove me to school when the weather was inclement. It is so good to see you. Congratulations, Lori. Lori Barber, 27 years.
Lori has taught elementary general music chorus for 27 years. She feels incredibly fortunate to have had a career that combined two of her favorite things, making music and working with young people. In retirement, she takes with her many fond memories of watching students grow as budding musicians and performers. Congratulations.
Mary Boykin Swanson, 27 years.
In 1988, Mary joined FCPS as a special education teacher. She began in Falls Church, on to Reston, and ends in Herndon. She loved working with special needs students, parents, and staff, but feels it is time to embark on new opportunities, this time with family. Her future CLT meetings will take place as needed in planes, trains, and cars, traveling, and traveling. Congratulations.
27 years, Wesley Cheeks.
Wesley would like to share his most memorable FCPS moment. In my work for school security, I responded to an alarm one evening with my supervisor. We were walking around the building when we came upon 5 husky dogs that started chasing us. We jumped on top of our county vehicle and waited until the owner arrived and told us the dogs were friendly. Too bad we didn't know that before because we dented up that car pretty bad. Congratulations.
Great story. Patricia Claggett, 27 years.
Patricia has spent all of her FCPS career at Sunrise Valley Elementary. She started as custodian and then became building supervisor. She is always on the move, ensuring students, staff, and the community have everything they need. During lunch, you can find her in the cafeteria assisting students and staff. She always does whatever is asked of her with a smile on her face. Congratulations.
Cindy Crump, 27 years.
Cindy's high school orchestra director career has spanned 29 years. During her 25 years at Fairfax High, the orchestra program grew from 15 to 150 students. She enjoyed every moment of making music with students and collaborating with colleagues. A parent of a graduating senior wrote, "The fondness you have for your students and vice versa is so evident. A great teacher not only loves the subject she is teaching, but also cares for the students. Cindy, that describes you."
Teresa Dorsey, 27 years.
During the 27 years Teresa has spent working for FCPS, she says she has learned a lot about herself, about her strengths and her weaknesses. Through those years, she has met several special people who became her friends. She is thankful to them for their support and wishes to say a special thanks to Song Huang, who wasn't just Teresa's building supervisor at Rose Hill Elementary. She was her best friend and spiritual support. Congratulations, Teresa.
Gloria Aker, 27 years.
When Gloria started her career with Fairfax County Public Schools in 1975, right out of college, she was one of only 4 occupational therapists. Today, FCPS has 80 occupational therapists. In 27 years, she has worked at 30 different schools. She says it has been a rewarding career with some very interesting and challenging special education students.
Patty Howick, 27 years.
For the past 27 years, Patty has taught special education and 2nd and 3rd grade in FCPS. She has also been a mentor and a great beginnings coach. She worked tirelessly to encourage students to achieve success in all classroom activities, especially reading. She has an amazing ability to transcribe local screening meetings so that the parents had something to take home immediately. Patty truly worked wonders. Congratulations.
Clyde Harris, 27 years.
I apologize. I do not have a page for Mr. Harris. But let me flip back. Yep, it was reversed. Here we go. Clyde has spent 27 years as an architect in design and construction services. He has left his mark on a number of buildings. His first projects were SAC additions to elementary schools, renovating Chantilly High Academy, and converting old spaces into technology labs and high-end culinary kitchens and classrooms at Marshall and Mount Vernon high schools. He will miss the calls from principals, directors of student activities, and even the superintendent of city schools saying, "Clyde, can you please help me?" He has enjoyed all the challenges of form versus function with limited funds and did so with enthusiasm and a smile. Congratulations.
Debbie Marquardt, 27 years.
After completing student teaching in 1970, Debbie's plan to be a math teacher was interrupted by marriage and military moves. In 1987, she became a special education instructional assistant at Hayfield Elementary. She has seen many changes in education during her career and will miss the children. As her daughter Jennifer says, "My mom is finally graduating from elementary school."
Betty Mattingly, 27 years.
Betty says it has been a great joy to have worked when she did with all the difficult styles and trends. She will always remember how fantastic it was to work with her colleagues on the kitchen staff and the entire staff at Oakton. All the friendships she has made and all the students who she knew will remain in her heart forever. Congratulations.
Also at 27 years, Twee Nguyen.
Twee joined the staff of Jeb Stewart in 1987 and has remained there for 27 years. She has truly enjoyed her years working there. After so many years of work, she is looking forward to resting, enjoying life with her family and her 2 beautiful grandchildren, and gardening in her flower beds. She and her husband, Dad, plan to travel across the country and visit their native country of Vietnam. Congratulations.
"27 years, George Weiner.
George was practicing law when Superintendent Splain recruited him to be a gifted and talented teacher at White Oaks Elementary. He is best known for creating the Channel 21 TV series Universal Words, that feature vocabulary development exercises and science demonstrations. The show ran for 11 years. This April, Georgia's first class in Fairfax, fifth graders in 1987-88 school year, reunited at White Oaks to celebrate his retirement.
Maria Carter, 28 years.
Maria spent 28 years providing customer service in various positions in FCPS, such as bus driver, custodian, and plant operations monitor. As a plant operations monitor, she trained hundreds of custodians and mentored many others. In crossing the path to success, our lives are enhanced and our minds are educated. She says all things are possible as we fly with eagles. Congratulations.
Clarence Cox, 28 years.
Clarence, better known as Sonny, was a constant worker bee at the cabinet shop. Sure, he could be caught sleeping before the start buzzer or during lunch break, but there was no other match for his work ethic on the job. He is proud to have served FCPS for the past 28 years. Congratulations.
And also with 28 years, Susan Martin.
Susan started teaching in the Head Start program in 1986. She loved guiding children and their families in a positive direction. What a joy it was to watch children play together, solve problems, write their names, and then to run into former students and their families. She feels privileged to have spent 20 years in the classroom and 8 years as an early childhood resource teacher. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Quinn. And our next reader is going to be Jim Caker. And Jim, before you read a profile, let me say something about you, because Jim is retiring from FCPS after 14 years. Come on over and get in the line, Jim. We have something for you.
Phyllis, this wasn't authorized.
I know it was not authorized. That's why we're doing it. Let me tell you a little bit about Jim Caker, Assistant Superintendent of Cluster 2, who's committed to academic success for all students. After serving as an educator in Alaska and Texas, Jim joined FCPS in 2000. He has served on the leadership teams at Marshall High School, Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, and was principal at Chantilly High School, where he celebrated and created positive change. As part of Lead Fairfax, Jim has been an excellent mentor to aspiring principals. He's committed to developing strong leaders in FCPS. Everything Jim undertakes is based on a dedication to results and with the best interests of FCPS students in mind. His attention to professional learning communities, student learning, and school climate leaves Cluster 2 in a great place. Jim, we will miss you. I will miss you as well. Your positive leadership will miss your keen intellect and your keen dress as well. You have made a difference in the lives of our students. We wish you all the best in Texas. Right after this, we're going to put Jim to work. He's going to be reading our next several 20-some years and taking us into, I think, into the 30s as well. Almost ready, Jim?
I like that box.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right. 28 years, Susan Novak.
Susan is proud of her career in special education. She has spent the past 25 years working with students, parents and teachers at Hayfield Middle. As department chair, she appreciated that classroom teachers are on the front line of education and did her best to support them. She hopes she made a difference in the lives of her students with special needs.
"28 years, Shira Swartz."
Shira remembers the days of classrooms without computers, phones, and handwritten report cards. She fondly recalls actual letters and notes from parents before email. What hasn't changed is Shira's love for her students, their parents, and the Burke community. She is grateful for the love and support of her husband and children.
Also with 28 years, William Wiley.
William began his career in FCPS at Dogwood Elementary School, where he worked for 12 years. He was promoted to assistant building supervisor at Hughes and then to building supervisor at Hunter Woods Elementary. He looks forward to working less, but wants to continue to keep busy.
"29 years, Susan Ourhand."
After 30 years of developing and implementing IEP goals for our youngest special needs students, Susan now has her own goals: to retire while she has the energy to make the most of it, to look ahead to new challenges, and to reflect with pride upon memories of the children and families she impacted and the wonderful colleagues she shared the journey with. Thank you.
Kim Brown Lucas, 29 years.
Helping students with special challenges work toward their potential was Kim's mission. After 14 years of varied teaching assignments, she became a special education administrator supporting instruction, behavior, and the IEP process. She has enjoyed a wonderful career putting children first.
Also with 29 years, Judy Timmons.
Little did Judy know when she began her FCPS career that it would last for 29 years. She started her career at the elementary level and then went to high school. She has enjoyed every minute of her time here in FCPS. She made a lot of friends and learned a lot, but it all has to end sometime. Now she can enjoy spending lots of time with her family.
All right, now we're moving into the 3 decades, 30 years of service. Rita Coulier, come on down, Rita.
Many FCPS employees have appreciated Rita's attention to detail and hard work when processing their tuition reimbursements. She is a dedicated professional who never hesitated to step up to the plate. When the power went out in our building, Rita just picked up her computer, found another work location, and kept on going like the Energizer Bunny. PLA feels very lucky to have had her.
Also with 30 years, Sandra's Collier.
Sandra cherishes all of her experiences with students and parents and colleagues during her 34 years in education. Her journey began in 1974 in California and continued in Fairfax County, where she taught first grade at Hunters Woods, first and third grade at Spring Hill, led a K-6 behavior intervention pilot program at Oakton, and special education at Herndon Elementary. Congratulations.
Belinda Crawford, 30 years.
A former counseling intern sent Belinda this note: "I don't have enough words to thank you. You taught me more than counseling skills. You taught me to believe in myself. You allowed me to make mistakes and learn from them. Most importantly, you believed in me. Your kindness made my experience unforgettable. Because of you, I begin my career with confidence and passion.
Ruth Diffenbaugh, 30 years.
Ruth started teaching in Fairfax County in 1983. She spent 20 years teaching special education at various schools throughout the county. She has served Woodley Hills Elementary for the past 10 years as their librarian. Ruth looks forward to retirement, but will always be a teacher.
Our third married couple for this evening, John Duvloss with 28 years and his wife, Vicki Dufloss, with 30 years of service.
John worked as a glazer and managed to keep all his fingers. He loved the opportunity, stability, and consistency his job provided. What he will miss in retirement are the people he worked with and met along the way. His wife, Vicki, retired in December after working for us most recently in the Medicaid office. John and Vicki met when she worked at Herndon Middle School as the principal's secretary. The couple has been together for 19 years. We're pleased to have played a part in bringing you together and wish you both a happy retirement.
Congratulations to those three couples so far. Only one more to go and several other retirees in between. Brenda Johnson, 30 years.
One of her colleagues said, Brenda and I worked together in the Head Start program for many years, but it wasn't until we shared a cubicle wall that I realized how much she talks to herself. I was constantly thinking she was talking to me. Brenda is so pleasant and nurturing. It's nice to know that she is as positive with herself as she is with others. The silence in the office next year will be deafening.
30 years as well, Patrick McInerney.
Teaching has been a satisfying and fulfilling life's work for Patrick. His priority has always been to make learning relevant and fun. What he enjoyed most was hearing from parents about how much their child loves school during and after being in his class. He retires with the satisfaction that he has made a difference in many children's lives. Congratulations.
"31 years of service, Andy Micah."
A product of FCPS himself, Andy graduated from Jeb Stuart and then went on to attend William & Mary. He returned to FCPS as an educator and has taught physics at Robinson Secondary School for the past 31 years. He also assisted the school by serving as a wrestling coach for 8 years.
"31 years as well, Trish Miserendino."
When her teaching career began at Burke Elementary, she was Miss Schultz. After becoming Miss M, she spent the next 25 years teaching early childhood special education at Keene Mill Elementary. She matriculated to kindergarten at Laurel Ridge, advanced further to first grade at Willow Springs Elementary, and concluded her career back in kindergarten.
And our fourth couple, you've already met Dan Paris. You're going to meet his lovely wife, Erin Paris, and Dan's going to have the honor of telling us about Erin.
So, Jim, I've never pulled rank on you before, but I'm going to exert the rank of husband to do this one. And yes, we are the fourth couple, and that's exciting for us to share tonight with everyone. So, Erin began her special education teaching career in 1983. What a happy ride it's been. She realized early on that she would be happy spending all of her working days in the classroom, and that's true. After 18 years at the middle school level, she moved to the elementary. She will miss her daily interactions with students and colleagues. Retirement is the next chapter, but don't be surprised if you see her back for a visit or two. Her husband and family think that Erin is pretty darn neat. I put that part in. Her students love her, but we love her more. And I also added that last part. Congratulations, Erin.
She's got a special surprise. Dan, you know some other people are going like, thanks, guy. Thanks a lot, buddy. Congratulations to you all. That was our last couple for the evening. Everybody else, we're just moving forward, right? Here we go. 31 years of service, Deborah Rittenauer.
Walt Disney once said, "If you can dream it, you can do it." When 6-year-old Debbie was asked by her teacher, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" she already knew she wanted to be a first-grade teacher. For 29 of her 31 teaching years, she achieved her dream teaching first grade. What a thrill it has been.
Valerie Shapiro, 31 years.
Valerie has spent the last 31 years committed to educating FCPS general and special education students. Throughout her career, former students have sent her messages of thanks for the constant encouragement that enabled their success. Valerie is looking forward to retiring, but also to keeping the flame burning brightly to light the way for more young minds.
"31 years, Joy Stallworth."
Joyce taught several grade levels, most recently 5th grade at Centerville Elementary. Hundreds of students have benefited from her energy, and they frequently return to thank her for her service. She dedicated herself to helping students overcome obstacles by building their confidence, which opened doors for them and shaped their future. By inspiring excellence, she has changed the world.
Barbara Zimble, 31 years.
What Barbara valued most during her time in special education was collaborating with colleagues who gave so much of themselves to students. Her friendships with coworkers have enriched her life and will continue to enrich her life in retirement. Barbara begins her retirement with many fond memories. She would like to say a special thank you to her family for supporting her in this endeavor.
"32 years of service, Marilyn Kawanzi."
Marilyn's FCPS career has seen her go from elementary, middle, and high school teaching positions to special education department chair and now to central office. Her wonderful organization skills and positive attitude have made her an asset to the ESY team. The personal knowledge she gains through direct interactions with students informs her grouping and teaching assignment processes. Congratulations.
Also with 32 years of service, Tommy Champ.
This transplanted Texan loved teaching math at Marshall High and is especially proud of her IB mathematics students, whose scores beat the world average every year. These comments from former students have warmed her heart. I'll never forget her saying, "We better learn math if we want to know how to manage our 6-figure salaries." And something must have stuck. I had her in Algebra 2, and now I'm a mechanical engineer. Congratulations, Tommy. The Marshall community will miss you.
Carol Pisa, 32 years.
Carol began her career with FCPS in July 1982 as a clerk typist in the special services. She moved on to administrative assistant and ends her tenure as records management technician in document management. While working, she earned her undergraduate and graduate degrees. Carol looks forward to spending more time at home with her family.
Also with 32 years, Linda Rosen.
Linda started out teaching high school special education and since then has worked in special and general education in 5 elementary settings. It is time now to usher in a new generation of teachers to work in one of the hardest but most rewarding professions in the world. Just as her experience has shown her, they will love it much more than they won't. Congratulations.
"33 years of service, Vanessa Bush.
Vanessa's journey began April 10, 1980, spending her entire career at Forest Edge Elementary, where she enjoyed many wonderful relationships with staff, students, parents, and community members. One of our favorite things was being a student mentor. She says it's important to always reach out and touch someone's life. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Caker. Our final reader for this evening, John Foster. And with 33 years of service, we are celebrating Susan Riemann.
Susan has spent her entire career in the middle, teaching 7th grade social studies. She thoroughly enjoys the energy and enthusiasm of this unique age group. She spent the first 10 years at Hayfield and was lucky to open 2 new middle schools, Stone and Liberty. She is especially proud that many of her former students have become social studies teachers in the county.
Pretty cool. 34 years of service, Alfreda Burgess.
Alfreda celebrates a wonderful career in FCPS. She came to Edison High in 1988, where she established a reputation as a strong teacher of students with intellectual disabilities. She taught English, history, and government electives in a structured, predictable fashion, which raised achievement. Her leadership was evident as assistant department chair and lead teacher.
Also with 34 years, Kim Renee Day.
Kim has brought educational insight and professional expertise to each teaching assignment. Kim's classroom was a vibrant learning environment where she demanded academic and social excellence. She commanded respect from all in her sphere of influence. Elementary and adult learners have grown under her master teaching skills.
Tony Lacey, 34 years.
Tony began as a custodian and moved up to a certified pest controller and then assistant pest control supervisor. He was a dedicated employee who always had a smile on his face. The pests of Fairfax County owe Tony due homage, because in the 18 years he spent in the pest control section, he hasn't killed a single one of them.
Thanks, Tony. Pam Miller, 34 years.
Pam's involvement with FCPS started 54 years ago as a first grader. She graduated from Annandale High. She has worked with students in all grade levels as a speech and language pathologist. She wants to thank her family for their support while she embraced the challenge of this fulfilling career. In retirement, she looks forward to spending time with her family and friends.
"34 years as well, Dorothy Priester."
Dorothy and her husband Fred came to Fairfax County from New York in 1979. They were looking for a more rural area to raise their children. Dorothy has taught special education in 5 elementary schools in Fairfax and spent the last 29 years at Greenbrier West. She is looking forward to spending more time with her children and grandchildren.
"35 years, Pam Martinov. Thank you.
Pam has taught thousands of students, including her 3 children, in all levels and subjects of history, sponsored its academic and Model UN, and served as department chair. She's attended more football games than anyone in Stewart High School history and created countless handmade quilts to celebrate happy occasions. Pam will miss Stewart, but Stewart will miss her more.
Sandy Woods, 35 years.
Sandy began her career as the first elementary physical education teacher in Warren County, Virginia. After 3 years there, creating a program of studies from scratch, she accepted a position in Fairfax County and has enjoyed every one of her 35 years at Kings Glen Elementary. She is looking forward to new adventures in retirement, and as Jimmy Buffett would say, growing older, but not up.
37 years. And I'm looking at this group thinking, wow, God, 37 years. Sandra Boyd.
Seeing the joy her father experienced as a school bus driver, Sandra decided to become one herself. It was a special joy for her to transport students to her alma maters, Louise Archer, Thoreau Middle, and Madison High. She promoted positive relationships among coworkers and made a big impression on students, thanks to her vibrant personality and pleasant demeanor. She will be sorely missed.
Sounds like she got a big fan club that's waiting for her. Also with 38 years of service, Ginger Houston.
During her first month as a speech therapist, Ginger was working with a student who was unable to make the R sound. After he tried and failed repeatedly, he said, "I know making a good R sound is important to you. I'm not really good at making it, but there is a boy in my class who makes a great R sound. I can go get him, and he can say it for you without practicing."
Kay Spinks, 38 years.
Kay has been the heart and backbone of South Lakes High since it opened in 1978. Her old-fashioned virtues of integrity, hard work, loyalty, and dedication made her an invaluable member of the school family. Ask Kay was the answer for anyone who needed help. She was a joy to work with and a mentor to many. She and her husband are looking forward to retiring to Florida.
And our last 3 retirees this evening all have 42 years of service to FCPS. Starting with Gerald Billingsley.
Jerry's influence has touched the lives of more than 5,000 students. For the past 43 years, he has served Kilmer Middle School as the premier source of civics, economics, and American history. A Fairfax County graduate himself, his subject matter expertise and ability to challenge students was unrivaled. He used his own public service as a small-town mayor to inspire his students. He is truly the very foundation Kilmer was built upon.
Also with 42 years, Mark LaCroix.
Mark began his career in 1972 at the Virginia Department of Health's Division of Environmental Health. At FCPS, he brought a strong public health background to a position normally occupied by engineers or industrial hygienists. Mark will be remembered for resolving environmental quality complaints, particularly those related to indoor air quality and mold growth. He earned the well-deserved nickname, the Mold Man.
Yes. Yes, and he visited my school quite often as a first-year principal because we had a mold problem, but Mark took care of us. Our last retiree of the evening, we are so honored by your work and service, Irma Moak.
When she first applied for a teaching position in FCPS, the principal called to tell her, "The job is yours, but by the way, my teachers don't wear pantsuits." That same year, the principal relented when his wife wore a pantsuit to our end-of-year luncheon. We've come a long way, baby. Irma is very sad to leave her beloved job because Wakefield Forest is a wonderful place to work.
So with that, what a wonderful evening we've had. We hope that our retirees will take with them many good memories and great friendships from FCPS. We appreciate all of you coming tonight to help us celebrate the 3,798 combined years of service of these amazing retirees. We honor you. Good night, everyone.